Thakur, when some persons say that they have overcome passion, as God cannot be perceived unless one conquers passion, are they right?
When men say that they have shunned passion, they continue the functional use of their other senses. There must have been some among them who enjoyed music, some would relish good dishes, some else were fond of good scenes and scenarios. In these cases, their eyes, ears, and nose, etc., all were in order. Those too are considered limbs of the body. To find relish and satiety is also passion. Whatever is appealing to the senses is passion. Passion is raised by everything. This element permeates all the sense organs, nay, all objects, so that the question of abandoning it does not arise at all.
Our scriptures teach us yoga, penance, and meditation. Is there anything like that enjoined in politics too?
Then listen. The scriptures advise us about yoga and meditation. That is a fact. At the same time, there is mention of sacrificing the foes, non-violence on one side, and on the other side, sacrificial rites to appease the deities, lessons for forsaking the tendencies of violence in us. The spirit of violence is our enemy inside, therefore is a part of our puja rites and rituals to demolish the recreated image of the demon inside us by the sacrificial sword. Thus, if our conception is clear, then you will find the tenets of the scriptures conform to the present-day political ways. Problem arises when there is confusion about the true significance of the age-old lessons. It has been asked that miscreants should be destroyed and pious people should be given protection. It will not suffice to kill 2 goats symbolically to neutralize the miscreants. In actual practice, you find that some persons are endeavoring to maintain piety by killing unholy mental instincts. Somewhere else, people are trying to save themselves from the persecution of the evil gangs by total destruction, just as Ram and Lakshman had gone out with bow and arrow. If we want to achieve perfection in the administration of the land, as was the dream of Gandhi, what he termed Ramrajya, we must have to take up armor. Then only we shall have safety from the evildoers.
Is your Shantandol cadres organized on that basis?
Santandal should not be considered in a limited sense. Firstly, all created objects are Santan. The whole populace on earth are Santan. The cadre of Santandal has been organized on this concept. It is prepared to adopt the merits of any other like-minded organization. They are never involved in any partisan dispute, while other groups are under their coverage. They have taken up the trident of Shiva, which is the symbolic armor of justice. No miscreant can escape from their hands now on. Either they will prescribe treatment after proper diagnosis or conduct operations. The knife may be the same, but it works differently at the hands of the medical surgeon and the murderer.
You often speak about the original Vedas. Who was its composer? What was its script or language?
Not the original Vedas. I talk on the Vedas that are eternal. Just like the universe, the Vedas too originated from the ethereal sky. All that is necessary for the sustenance of the living world are being provided by the sky in nature's own course. The Vedas too were created in the same way. The great firmament is the reservoir of knowledge which the Vedas reveal. So the Vedas are contained in the heavens. Again, the heaven itself is the Vedas. In ancient times, saints and hermits in India were able to elicit a fraction of that vast celestial wisdom through study, lessons, and by research. They were known to be well versed in the 4 Vedas. Endless varieties of natural objects and species are found in the living world, and at the same time, sufficient arrangement has also been provided for their protection. If one would have a look at all those arrangements, one will perceive that help is being duly provided just on time to meet the needs. It is unnecessary to bother as to who is the provider, how it is being processed, and from which source, and such other queries. Let the mystery remain as such. You possess knowledge, intelligence, and wisdom, so you are to go along the track, though bound by limitations. Then only you will be able to understand what is at the root of this universe and what are the Vedas, who may have been the authors. What is the good in assuming something without grasping the true meaning thereof? Look at the vast sky above. It appears to be void of substance, but in fact countless planets and subplanets, atoms and molecules, even much finer and finest particles, are rotating in discipline, each on its own scheduled line. Automatic production of new substances are going on by the process of conjunction of atomic particles. Though looking empty, the firmament is virtually a factory wherein such operations continue. Substances created in such a process may seem to have sense or without any sense. That matters little. Those are mere terms used for convenience of expression. We have to decipher the significance of the substances created out of the firmament. In fact, these are the reflections of the grand void of the sky, because nothing is found sustainable if the images are analyzed. The supposed utilities or qualities rarely survive any analytical test. The flower looks so nice. We can see its charming beauty with our own eyes, can have its smell, can feel a soft touch taking by hand. But when we try to collect these charms, nothing remains. All is gone. The physical body of any created self turns out to be the mixture of blood and flesh and bones only. For further test, when we go deeper, the query will arise: what is the source of blood? Yes, from the vegetation, which again is the creation of soil, water, light, and air. These elements are made up of fine and finer atoms, which all are in the sky. Thus you see that the blood flowing through the veins of living beings is flown from the heavens above through some undisclosed process. The same is the case with bones, marrow, skin, etc. All will disappear in the eternal void. Therefore, it is easily perceived that all physical substances grow out of elemental void and return to the same source wherein it is finally absorbed. Creation, existence, and expansion. The source of all is the sky above us. The whole universe is rotating along with the sky, keeping the scheduled track. The vast sky is reflected through the countless subtle atoms existing therein. The nature of all material objects is contained in the firmament, and that is its unique feature. While the sky is beyond our reach, we can have each of the created substance through which we get an exposure of the sky. The Vedas evolved from such exposures of the heavens. When you read with attention the rhymes and lines of the Vedas, you will realize the sequence of the automatic process of all our material needs being provided from the Supreme Source. the canons of action and behavioral norms to facilitate progress and performance smoothly and efficiently, as well as the indicative guidelines enabling you to grasp the mysteries of the universe. All these will be within your grasp. Look at the living world. There are diverse types of creatures, and this conceptual ideas, thoughts, and behavior, etc., are also diverse. They appear in different forms and shades as per nature's dictum. This should be clear. Each one of them has its own characteristics, own way of doing things, activities and customs and behavioral patterns. We should try to study and understand these unique patterns in nature and then adopt and apply them methodically and scientifically in our daily walk of life. We will then realize that life is so simple and nice. Life simple and nice is life divine. If you want to achieve true progress in life, then observe the lessons of nature, because it is the classic source of learning. From this vast source of knowledge arose the Vedas. Study these Vedas, and you will then easily win your track to reach the goal. Thousands and thousands of years back, great seers, who are now known as saints and savants, made efforts to study the significance of the vast nature and engaged themselves to unfold the abounding mystery. Their efforts were known as sadhana. They would devote themselves to their sadhana for 100 years or so and discover a mere fraction of the contents of the message emanating from nature. They would then pass on their acquired thoughts and revelations to their disciples by oral lessons to go further and deeper into the vast and endless mysteries of nature, of which they themselves could comprehend only very little. The disciples were entrusted with the task of confining the study and research of the deep messages impregnated in the overflowing mysteries in nature. This way, some additional material, truth, and ideas would emerge in course of their sadhana for over the next 100 years or so. Thus, their study results and findings would be the accrual of 200 years of research. Thus, the acquired new lessons for over centuries were then passed on orally to successive generations so that they could conduct further and deeper research to unravel the mysteries of nature. In the process, spread over centuries, scripts were created, and Vyasadeva, son of Satyavati, gave these messages a formal shape in writing. Truth is inherent in nature. The son of Satyavati, whose name, as said earlier, was Vyasadeva, classified the Vedas in different parts. Vyasa actually means a section. In fact, Vyasadeva was not a particular saint as such. The truths in nature were put together in a systematic order so that others could comprehend those ideas comfortably and easily. Thus took place revelation of the truths and lessons lying in the mysteries of nature for the benefit of the living world. The unique, original philosophical ideas and thoughts of our seers and saints were also classified in different chapters and then published for public use. That is how the name of Vyasadeva, meaning the compiler of chapters, came down to us. In reality, neither the ancient saint philosophers, not even Vyasadeva, can be considered as composers or publishers of the Vedas. They are simply propagators of Vedic messages. The Vedas were self-created, self-manifestations, self-revelation, and self-blossoming. innumerable pages of these timeless Vedas remain undeciphered or even unread. A mere fraction of that endless volume that has come to light is a mere drop of the ocean. Even that much is no longer very pure. It has suffered adulteration, so to say, at the hands of conspirators.